So this is the check sheet. You'll use this for phase 1 and 2 if you choose to do both phases. You'll use this all 8 weeks. So right here you only see week 1. There in your nutrition manual there's 8 weeks worth of check sheets. So take a look at meal 1 on Monday. In order for us to get a check at meal 1 on Monday, and it says this up at the top next to the asterisk, in order to get a check mark, you need to have lean protein in that meal. You need to have healthy fat. You need to have a vegetable. No starches unless it's a post-workout meal. If you're a morning workout person and that your first meal is right after your workout, obviously you could have starches there. And no drinks containing calories. So fruit is not on there. It's not going to cost you a check mark not to eat fruit, but we do want you to eat fruit with every meal at the beginning. So just make sure that you get all those things. If you get all those things, you get a check mark for meal 1 on Monday. Then the same thing for meal 2, 3, and 4, and so on and so forth down the line. Now, we talked about 90% compliance, and it says that right there. 90% compliance equals 26 check marks. There's 28 total boxes in this grid for the week. So that means you can slip up 2 times. Now your cheat meal, and we'll talk about cheat meals here in a minute. Your cheat meal does not count as a slip up. So you eat your cheat meal plus 2 other slip ups. And it can be as easy as I didn't have a vegetable with that meal. That's a slip up. So you really want to make sure, especially early in the week, that you nail it down, because if we screw up twice on Monday, we have to be perfect for the rest of the week. And the chances of that happening are not real slim, but they're not as, we want to get as far into the week as we can without screwing up. So just, on the weekend or whatever, if we screw up, we have those 2 slip-ups in our hip pocket. So that's how you do the check sheet. Make sure that you do it religiously. You don't have to do it after every meal necessarily. You can sit down at the end of the day and just check them off or whatever the case is. So that's how you use your check sheet. Now this is the sheet where you're going to get all your amounts for the actual amount of food that you're supposed to eat. Instead of figuring out how many grams of protein is in a chicken breast, you can just look here, and if you see at the top, that's my body weight. I will email you, as soon as I weigh everyone in, I will email each person this sheet with their weight put in there. That will change all of the numbers, so this sheet will be specific to you. Now this is a phase 2 thing only. You don't have to follow this in phase 1. But like I said, a lot of people just looked at this sheet from the very beginning and just jumped right into phase 2. So for me at 250, say if I wanted a meal of chicken breasts, bananas, and extra virgin olive oil, that's not a very good combination to me. But just for the ease of the demonstration, I would eat 6.1 ounces of chicken breast, because that's how many ounces is in a meal. Or if I'm going to eat 4 meals, that's how much I need to eat to get the protein I need. I would eat 1 whole banana, and I would eat 5.6 teaspoons of olive oil. And that's almost 6 teaspoons, which is 2 tablespoons if I'm not mistaken. So you don't have to, it's not that big of a deal, 5.6. That's just because the formulas are in there. You can round up or down a little bit depending. Just make sure that you stay consistent. That's the thing. So we'd round up a little bit right there. Now that would be a non post-workout meal. If it were a post-workout meal, I'd swap my fruit out for a starchy carb. You don't want to have both in the same meal. It's either or. So if it were post-workout and I like those starches, then I would swap my starch out for the fruit and say I'd get 4.5 ounces of rice or whatever you want to choose. So you can just go down there and choose those. Like I said, I'll email this out so it's specific to you, but I can't email them out until I have how much each person weighs, because I plug it into a Excel sheet, and that changes all the numbers. So those are your amounts right there. That's the easiest way, and that's based on 4 meals a day. So if you're, for whatever reason, if you decide you can't eat 4 meals a day and you're going to eat 3, this does not apply to you. If that's the case, let me know and I can come up with a sheet that will allow you to do that. But we really, really want you to stick to 4 if you can. Just a few additional principles for all phases here. Make sure you drink plenty of water. We want you to drink a ton of water. If it has more than 5 ingredients in it, you should seriously question why you're eating it. And then the last 3 we've kind of already touched on, but you can read through those if you would like. Supplementation for fat loss as part of your nutrition can have a positive impact on your fat loss. It's one of those things where if you have everything else in order, supplements can help you. I'm not a big fan of supplements to begin with. I think too many people are looking for a magic pill to help them lose fat while they're trying to go eat at Whataburger 4 times a week. It won't, supplementation, you're wasting your money on supplements if you're at 70% compliance on your diet and you make it to 15% of your workouts. The supplements are going to do you no good. You're throwing your money away. So once you get your nutrition geared in at 90%, you can make 90% of the workouts. That's when supplementation is going to help you. So you can start with supplements from the beginning. Just make sure that you're doing those other 2 things to help them work. As you can see, all 4 of these are very natural. They're all natural. I'm not a big fan of a bunch of fat burners full of chemicals and all kinds of garbage. Fish oil, evening primrose oil, and the multivitamin you can get almost anywhere. Walmart, Sam's Club, CVS, Walgreens, those types of things. I recommend all 3. I personally think that the biggest nutrition powerhouse as far as supplements go is green tea extract. The green tea extract is a little bit different in that it's hard to find really pure green tea extract, and that's why we've brought it to our gym. We sell it there because, quite honestly, the purity of the green tea extract on the shelf was not very good at all. Ours is 98% pure. I hate to put a shameless plug out there, but it really is the best there is. We don't sell fish oil, even in primrose oil or multivitamin, because you could get them cheaper somewhere else. But I'm pretty passionate about green tea, the use of green tea, number one, but then the purity of it and making sure that you're not throwing your money away. So green tea has a ton of health benefits. You could Google almost any disease in green tea and figure out that green tea helps that certain disease. So, but those are the main 4 that we recommend, and as we go, I'll kind of recommend dosage and that kind of thing. Not something to worry about as of now, though. But remember, it's not going to help you if you don't have your diet and your workouts in line. So jumping right from keeping your diet in line right into cheat meals here. We do recommend that you have a cheat meal every once in a while. Some people like to have them every week. I don't have an issue with that. I personally take one about every 3 weeks. It just depends on how well you do with your dieting and how well you can stick to it without going crazy. It just really depends. But when you do decide to have a cheat meal, these are just some rules. It does, if used properly, it does have a positive mental effect. But quite honestly, it has a very positive physical effect on a biological level if you use them correctly at the right time. So, and this will help you with that. First of all, we want it to be no longer than 45 minutes. So from the first bite you take to the last bite you take, no longer than 45 minutes. And I can tell you right now, from personal experience, I get about 20 minutes deep and I'm so stuffed I can't eat another bite. So probably won't be an issue, just don't go over 45 minutes. Make it the last meal of the day, and this would fly in the face of the whole low carb at night thing. However, when people will use their cheat meal for breakfast, 9 times out of 10 that cheat meal turns into a cheat day, and that's not a good thing. Might be a good thing mentally, but certainly not physically. Make sure that your cheat meal is high carb. As you diet down, you'll get glycogen depleted. You'll get a little case of the sleepies. You'll have a little bit of lack of energy further along in the diet, and that just comes with the territory of losing fat. However, the cheat meal will help you replenish those glycogen stores as long as your cheat meal is high carb. So that will help to give you a nice boost of energy. It'll help to give your metabolism a nice little boost, and it'll help your glycogen stores to be replenished, which will help your workouts as well. The day after rule, make sure that you do your cheat meal the day before a workout day. For me personally, I know I'm going to train every Monday, so I do mine on Sunday nights when I do them. Whatever that is for you, if you want to do it, if you're a 5:30 a.m. person on a Wednesday morning and you want to do it Tuesday night, that's awesome. It doesn't work nearly as well if you don't work out the next day. When you give your metabolism a nice little boost and then you work out the next day burning even more calories, it's kind of like a double whammy there, and it really helps to get through people through plateaus and keep burning fat at an even higher rate. A couple more rules here. What you can expect out of the cheat meal. Number one, it's going to be the most glorious 45 minutes that you've had in quite some time. Number two, you will gain some weight days 1, 2, and 3. So for instance, if I were to take a cheat meal Sunday night, usually Monday I'm not much heavier. Tuesday I'm a little heavier yet. Wednesday I'm a little heavier yet. Usually Thursday or Friday it starts to go back down. That happens with every person we've ever trained. That happens with me. That happens with my wife. Don't panic during that period. Don't throw out all your carbs during that period or whatever trying to lose this weight. It will come back down. I honestly don't know completely how that works, because usually Monday you would think would be the heaviest day, but it's certainly not. So that's just the way it is. Don't panic during that phase. And the last one is, just because we allow you to have a cheat meal doesn't mean it's a green light to eat 3 cheat meals a week. They do work well if you've been dieting hard for a substantial amount of time, and by substantial, I mean up to 6 to 7 days, hopefully even more than that, 14 to 21 days. I've known people to diet down, up to 12 weeks without a cheat meal. It just really depends on you and your mentality towards dieting. Some people need it every week. Some people can go 2 months straight without needing one. So it's just up to you. Just don't eat, 3 a week or something crazy like that. They will work if you use them properly.